Jamie, your report has revealed women's pain is not taken seriously, with them often being deemed too emotional. Joining us now is the chief exec of the charity Wellbeing of Women, Janet Lindsay, of course, and also Katie Taylor, who experienced a long delay in a perimenopause diagnosis. Hi, ladies. Good to see you both. Get your experience in just a second, if I may. But first to you, Janet, what is it that we're talking about?
Well, it's the Gender Pain Gap report that's been launched by Nurofen and which we're supporting. And it's really pointing out that there is a big difference between women's pain and men's pain. 56% of women report that their pain is dismissed, and that's across the board, from their healthcare professional, from their partners, and also from friends and in the workplace. And it's something that we really want to highlight, and we need to make really, really system-wide changes in order for women to get the support and the healthcare that they really need.
Well, let's get an example of that. Katie, tell us what happened to you.
Yeah, so from the age of about 43, I spent 4 years going back and forwards to different doctors with a whole host of seemingly unrelated symptoms. So joint pain, migraines, brain fog, and I eventually went to see a...
They sound like classic symptoms of menopause to me.
Yeah, but these were things that I didn't know, and nor did my doctors. I was diagnosed as depressed, offered antidepressants, and I was dismissed and told that the pain in my back and my joints and my head were all in my head. I gave up my job because of my symptoms. And actually, when I look back on my whole fertility journey, actually, I suffered with polycystic ovaries, adenomyosis, which sort of led to came from caesarean sections, and ended up with a hysterectomy. And I think, you know, there's a lot of... I'm really pleased this report's come out, because there's a lot of women that go to doctors who are made to feel hysterical or hypochondriacs.
Well, you were told you were suffering from depression.
Yes, and it wasn't.
No. So, Janet, what do we need to do?
Well, we really need to make these system-wide changes. So the first thing we need to do is we need to have more GPs, we need to have better training for GPs, we need to have education and awareness campaigns starting in school, right the way through to college, university, in the workplace, because so many of women's health conditions are taboo subjects. We don't talk about periods. Women have 12 periods a year for up to 40 years. The menopause, we all know about the menopause. Most women start in the perimenopause and have no idea what's happening to them. We also need to invest in research, because research is the way that we find the breakthroughs, we can find new treatments, diagnostic tests, and preventions. And finally, if we do all of that, we know that if we get it better for women, then the whole of society will benefit.
What's your advice to women watching this morning who don't know what's happening to them? They go to their GP and they don't get the support that they feel that they need.
Well, obviously, if it's to do with perimenopause, I mean, I run a website and a Facebook group called The Latte Lounge, and I'm there for women who are going through perimenopause and menopause symptoms. Print off a symptom checklist, prepare for your doctor's appointment. But please do go to Wellbeing of Women website as well, because there's so much evidence-based information there, and don't be afraid to say if you are in pain, because pain actually is not normal and you shouldn't have to put up with it.
Why is it that GPs don't understand that? Or so, I mean, I've got a sensational GP, but some GPs don't understand that.
Well, I think I would say that a lot of GPs and healthcare professionals are very good, Kay, but I do think that, you know, there's been gender bias in society, and that obviously will include the healthcare profession. But I do think it's changing. But we do need better training. So we need to highlight some of these issues. So they do need to understand them better. And I think we do that by using lived experiences like Katie's, as part of the training for GPs and practice nurses and pharmacists.
What do you mean by gender bias? Because, I mean, obviously I know what you mean, but a lot of men don't go to their GP anyway, do they?
No, they don't. But I think that when women go, they feel as though they are being dismissed. So their pain is not being taken seriously. They're deemed as being emotional or irrational. And actually, it comes down to listening to women's voices, because women know themselves best. And there have been a number of reports over the years about this. And I do see that this is changing. And I think that GPs and healthcare professionals do want to make the changes themselves. So I think that it is coming through, Kay. I'm really positive about it.
What's the situation now, Katie?
Well, I think we're getting better at talking about
What about
women's
your own
health.
situation?
My own situation. Well, I'm now thankfully on the right treatment option for me, which was hormone replacement therapy, not antidepressants. And I'm just a very big supporter of the Wellbeing of Women charity and getting all the information out there about, you know, women's health and perimenopause and menopause. And I think it's a generational thing as well. I think we're not, you know, the older generation would say, well, I just got on with it, you know, I just suffered in silence, so you should too. And that's not the case anymore. We need to be breaking down taboos, myth busting, and just saying, you know, if you're suffering, please speak up and go and get help.
And so say all of us. Absolutely, the Wellbeing of Women website is amazing, and I'm pleased that you finally got the treatment that you so richly deserve. Thank you, ladies, both for joining us on the programme
Thank you,
this
Kay.
morning. Thank you very much indeed. Don't suffer in silence.